The next story is about the Spanish flu virus, which killed millions between 1918 and 1920. Do not forget to follow, comment, and subscribe to our channel for such stories. It was the year 1918. Nestled at the foot of Slovenia's stunning mountains, surrounded by greenery, lay a small village. This village, consisting of just 15 households, lived in harmony with nature. The village was situated by a river whose clear waters provided both drinking water and a source of life. The villagers were known not only for their farming and livestock, but also for their deep love for the horses in the village. Horses were seen as both a workforce and a part of the family. Each day, 1 or 2 horses would run around the village square while children played around them. The calming presence of the horses was a significant contributor to the village's happiness. One day, as the world was shaken by a great pandemic, this peaceful village also found itself in danger. The Spanish flu was ravaging Europe. Initially, the villagers heard these dreadful news only as a distant whisper, until the first signs appeared in the village. The village's eldest, Anton, fell ill with a high fever and severe cough. Soon, other villagers who had been in close contact with him began to show the same symptoms. Everyone thought it was the flu, but this disease was much more deadly. The initial effects of the flu were physical: fatigue, shortness of breath, and an unbearable fever. However, it was soon noticed that those who fell ill began to exhibit strange behaviors. Anton screamed in the village square, "The sky is falling. We will all burn," while scratching his face with his nails. The strange behaviors of Anton were soon observed in other villagers as well. Marija claimed to have seen someone outside her house at midnight and couldn't sleep until morning. Janko said he heard whispers in his room, even though no one was there. As the disease spread, hallucinations in the village became more terrifying. Janko claimed to have seen Marija as a demon one night and attacked her with a knife. Marija lay bleeding on the ground, while Janko insisted that this murder was to save the village. The next day, a sense of panic prevailed in the village. The shock of Marija's death still lingered. The village priest, Luca, suggested that this might be a curse and that people needed to pray to save their souls. However, no one knew that this was just the beginning. The hallucinations became so realistic that people had to believe what they saw. Anja thought a creature in her kitchen was eating her children and cried, shaking until morning. In reality, there was nothing, but Anja swore she saw it. As the disease progressed, the hallucinations became even more terrifying. Some people began to feel like wild animals. Ivan wandered in the forest at night, howling like a wolf while his wife tried to calm him. However, Ivan saw his wife as prey and attacked her. The atmosphere in the village had changed. People became distrustful of each other. Everyone now considered their neighbor a threat. Windows of houses were boarded up and no one went outside. However, this isolation only deepened their fears. As the days passed, the deaths began to increase. However, the deaths were not due to the flu itself, but because people were harming each other. While praying inside the church, Priest Luca was attacked with a spear by a villager who saw him as a devil. Even children were not safe from these hallucinations. Young Alenka pushed her brother Peter down the stairs, claiming he had turned into a monster. Peter did not survive the incident. Alenka, however, still believed what she saw. Katerina, the village's only doctor, understood that these hallucinations were a side effect of the disease. However, Katerina had lost her credibility in the village. Some villagers thought she was spreading the disease. Katerina's house was burned down, and no one saw her again that night. At the peak of the disease, no one approached each other in the village square. Everyone blamed and threatened each other. The camaraderie and solidarity in the village had completely disappeared. One day, Django erected a large cross in the village square and said that everyone needed to come there to confess their sins. However, the confessions only led to new chaos. People began accusing each other of being demonic. Janko claimed one night that he was chosen by God and had to cleanse the village of the cursed people. This situation terrified the remaining villagers even more. No one was safe. The last few people left in the village isolated themselves completely to survive. However, even this isolation couldn't save them. Ivan mistook his shadow for a ghost one night and killed himself. Katerina's notes were found by the few people left in the village. Her notes explain that hallucinations were a common symptom in the later stages of the disease. However, the notes were found too late to stop the situation. The village turned into a ghost town after the disease spread. The Slovenian government completely quarantined the village and banned entry. However, it was said that no one was left in the village. Years later, a researcher who visited the village claimed to hear strange whispers in an old house and said that the village still bore the scars of this tragedy. People believed the village was cursed. Once you entered, you could never return.